Hey, Saddleback LA community leaders and small group hosts. I'm sending out a quick video because I wanted to share with you the what, the why, and the how of the Anchored Life series that we are currently in. But before I do, I just wanted to give a big thank you to all of you who are involved in small groups. We know that people come to church for a lot of different reasons, but they stay because of one, and that's relationships. And those relationships happen in the context of small groups. It's in a small group that you can be real, that you can let your walls down, and that you can get beneath the surface and talk about what's really going on. It's in the context of a small group that you can be seen, known, and loved by those around you, and you can see, know, and love those around you. And so every single one of you who is a part of small groups is making an impact in the lives of so many people, and it means the world to me. So thank you so much for what you do, for the investment you're making, and your involvement each and every week. I love you guys. So now I'd like to talk about the Anchored Life series. First, with the what. What are we doing? We are currently in a series called The Anchored Life, and what we are calling all of our church members, all of our church, and especially those who are in small groups to do, is to read through the entire New Testament in a span of 8 weeks. And we're going to be using a special and unique Bible called the Immerse Bible. And this was named the 2022 Bible of the Year. It uses the New Living Translation, but what they did is they removed the chapters and verses from the book, so that way the Bible reads as one continuous flowing story. And I'm really excited to get into this, and I've never done it, so I'm going to be trying it out with all of you. But the most important thing is that our people are going to be deeply embedded in the Word of God, and only good things can come from that. And so what we're going to be doing with all of our small groups for this 8-week span is we're going to be converting them into book clubs. And the reason why we're using the term book club is because that is a term that everyone is familiar with. Whether you're in the church or out of the church, you know what a book club is, and you can easily invite someone to be a part of your book club. And when you're in there, what you'll all discuss is what the week's readings were, and there are 4 simple questions that will be asked, and you'll just get to discuss the Bible. You get to discuss what things were, what things you're wrestling with, and what things stood out to you. And no one has to be a Bible scholar, although if you have Bible knowledge, that's great. And no one has to be a Bible expert, but everyone can contribute to these conversations. So we're really looking forward and really excited to see how this dives deeper into conversations and helps our people dive deeper into His Word. So that's the what. The why. Why are we doing all this? Well, we know that 2024 is a year where there's a lot of uncertainty in it. It's an election year. We don't know who's going to be elected. We don't know how the country's going to react, right? We also know that there's a lot of chaos that's overseas. And we also know that just in our normal lives, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of pressure, and there's a lot of anxiety. And that's why it's more important now than ever to be anchored on the Word of God. While the rest of the world is being swayed and tossed around by the waves and the wind of the sea, we as God's church want to be anchored on His Word. We want our footing to be on the firm foundation of Jesus Christ and what He tells us in the Word of God. And so that's why we are doing this. Now for the how. How are we going to distribute all these Bibles? Well, we are going to be handing them out to each person at the campus for the next 2 weeks. So over the next 2 Sundays, January 14th and January 21st, people can come to the campus, and there will be a distribution table where they can pick up their Bibles there. How are we going to give them to them? Well, what they'll do is they'll download the Saddleback Companion app if they don't already have it. there will be a button in there that you just click where you can say yes to the Anchored Life Challenge. And once you do, an email is going to be sent to your email inbox. And when you open it, there'll be a QR code. All people have to do is take that QR code over to the distribution table and they will receive their Bible right there. We're going to be handing out these Bibles one at a time. So to each individual who shows the QR code. There is going to be a paper form that people can fill out who maybe aren't tech savvy or just don't have good Wi-Fi or access to their phone. So that will be available at the table, but we're going to be leading everyone as best we can to use the Saddleback Companion app and register that way. Now, I know handing out Bibles one at a time is a little bit of a departure from how we've done it in the past. In times past, what we've done is hosts get the books and they bring it to their small groups. The reason why we're doing it differently this time is, number one, because we know that there's something special about when people make the decision on their own and make the commitment and the investment to walk up to the table and to pick up the Bible themselves. The second reason is we want to get the Immersed Bibles in people's hands as quickly as possible because the reading plan begins on Monday, January 22nd. And so some people, their small groups don't meet until Fridays. And so we don't want 5 days to go by before people get their Bibles. We want them to get them immediately. And so we are going to be distributing them over the course of the next 2 weeks. And how you can help is encourage and talk to your small groups about getting the Saddleback Companion app and registering for it. The link will be, or the links will be available on Thursday of this week, I believe, but certainly on January 14th. But getting the word out, spreading the word, and letting them know the what, the why, and the how. And we will rally our church together in that way. And this is going to be a really, really exciting time. Now, before we close here, I do want to address one thing real quickly. I know that there are still probably a lot of different questions. One of them being, well, what about the people who can't get there for the next 2 weekends? Like, just for whatever reason, they just can't make it to church for the next 2 weekends. That is okay. There's going to be certainly other ways. Yes, a host can grab a few, like we understand, but to the best of our ability, we want to encourage people to come to the campus themselves and get their Bibles. But I do know that there are some other situations, and in those situations, yeah, we'll get, the host can take the Bible to them. Not a problem whatsoever. So I did want to say that just right off the bat. But going back to what I was saying before, we're really excited. This is a really exciting time. I hope that you are as excited as I am to see what God is going to do in our church as we dive deeper into His Word together, because I know that when there are a group of people or a whole church of people who are committed to reading His Word, that only good things can come out of it. And so thank you guys so much. If you have any questions whatsoever, please reach out to your community leader or feel free to reach out to me directly. I love you guys. I think you're great, and I can't wait to see you soon. Bye-bye.